I see, guys. So, for example, when you apply information, you have to understand information is all words. And now, the better you are with your words and the more you speak your words into life, the more motivated you get. And it's very simple every single day to be able to speak words. But you have to learn every single day to speak your own words for yourself. And now, when you start speaking your words for yourself, you start to accumulate this rich mindset. And now you have to realize that the reason I done 40,000 quotes is because I don't know anybody in life in this world who's ever done 40,000 quotes. And now my quotes, you have to realize it's all a part of something that makes you greater. So you can always find my quotes on amazon.com.au, okay? So if you search up on amazon.com, you won't find my books there. You'll find my books on the Australian Amazon, okay, which is the amazon.com.au. But the thing that I want to tell you right now is you have to learn to express yourself, and you have to realize how important it is every single day to speak words to yourself. And you have to understand that no matter if you're dying today or if you're growing or whatever it is in your position right now, if you want to attract a better life for yourself, you have to speak words. And now, those people who speak a lot of words every single day find a lot of meaning about life. They find every single day what to do and how to do it and why to do it. And they find a lot of reasoning behind their own words, because their own words lead the way to something better, to what they need to do. So, for example, if I wasn't speaking words to you right now, then I would not be doing this audio program. But you have to realize that because I speak words, I motivate myself this way because I speak words. And now because I speak words, I always have something to say. And it's also a part of leadership that you understand that when you speak a lot of words every single day and you post it up online, people are going to start recognizing you for your work. And you have to realize that you have to speak a lot of words in life if you want to attract a lot of aspects of life into your life. So, for example, if you're a DJ or if you're a music producer or a life coach or any type of job out there that you might be doing, you have to speak a lot of words into the planet to be able to achieve a massive success in all areas of life. So, for example, a drug addict who doesn't speak words will always be a drug addict. You understand? Do you know why? Because they're not talking themselves out of drugs. Yes, and you have to talk yourself out of drugs. You have to talk yourself into success. You have to talk yourself into life. And the more you start talking into life, the more you start having you start having your own philosophy about everything that you are. And now many people don't listen to me. Yes, and they don't listen to me because they think somehow that my information may be evil. But the thing is that each and every single person in life can teach you something about life, you understand? And now you have to realize that if somebody doesn't want to go for you, okay, then you don't need them in life. You have to realize all you need in life is yourself. So if life deals you lemons, make sure that you can make a business out of it. Make sure that you can make business in your life, regardless of the situation. And the only way that Danny Milivojevic or myself, who is Danny Milivojevic, makes business come true for me, I do it in ways that I speak words. So when when I mean business, okay, when I mean a lot of business, I mean speaking a lot of words. And when I speak a lot of words, I get somewhere. I get common sense from the words I speak. And I make a lot of common sense with myself every single day to make sure that I can live much better than yesterday. So no matter what happens in my life, regardless of my habits and regardless of how I am today, I'm going to always be speaking words much more so that I can attract something much more in wisdom. Because all I ever search for in life is wisdom. I search for nothing else except wisdom. So wherever wisdom is, I go that way. You understand? I go the way of wisdom. I go the way of information. I go the way of knowledge. And I will honestly be always giving money to have knowledge around me. because knowledge is my asset. I promise you. You have to understand that knowledge is something that increases my livelihood, and it increases my way of life in a way that I understand how to think about certain situations and things. And now, if you're not talking to people, okay, if you're not talking words to people, then you have to be talking words to yourself. But if you're not talking words in life overall, then you're not really going to be living life on a better level. You have to realize, yes, the Buddha states that you have to be mindful, you have to observe your thoughts, you have to every single day be in silence as well sometimes, you understand? That's all excellent that the Buddha said. But what the Buddha didn't tell you, and what Jesus Christ didn't tell you in terms of being able to speak words, you have to understand, yes, it's written in the stars that you have to speak words to be successful. And you have to realize that if you go the silent way, then what happens is you have to realize that everything's telling you what you need to do every single day. So yes, because Jesus Christ spoke the words, you have to realize that the Bible is words, isn't it? You have to realize that's the way, isn't it? I promise you, Jesus Christ said, I am the light, I am the way, I am eternity. You understand? Everything like that. And the Buddha spoke, I promise you, the Buddha spoke a lot of words as well around Buddhism. So what is Buddhism? I promise you, Buddhism is a philosophy about life. It's about the spiritual life. It's about being mindful about things, being careful with yourself and other people, making sure you don't harm yourself in the world. That's what Jesus Christ was talking about. And that's what the Buddha was talking about as well. That when you have no mind, you have no suffering. You understand? And you have to realize that the thing is that when you speak a lot of words, that's how you have no mind. You understand? You have no mind because when you speak words, you can make common sense of things in the word form. And now you have to realize that those people who are able to think better are able to do better. And what you think is what you become. You understand? And you have to understand it's very true that every single day when I think in terms of words, when I think in terms of better words that I can say, I understand I always go something much better in terms of how I think because I speak better words than yesterday. And now my words never point to drugs. My words never point to harm anybody. I promise you my words lead to veganism, and also my words lead to speaking words instead of that. You know, so when you speak a lot of words instead of doing that, for example, then you'll realize that you can discipline yourself through the words that you speak. You can discipline yourself in everyday life. You can discipline yourself to make sure that you have a great life for yourself. But you have to understand that every single day you have to always be doing a lot of knowledge in life. You have to always constantly be accumulating wisdom in your life. And when you accumulate a lot of wisdom in life, you become a wise person. You become someone confident. You become someone courageous. You become someone that other people want to become. Not because of you, but because of the mindset you have. And now, because of the mindset that you do have, you have to start understanding to teach people a lot of things about your life. And you have to start teaching a lot of things about your experiences around life. Because people want to hear your words. People want to see you shine. They want to see you help them in some kind of way. So you do have to provide some kind of service in life. I realize my friend has a restaurant business, for example. And his business is all about serving food and drinks in his restaurant and giving the experience of a restaurant, for example. I do the same thing, but I do the same thing in a different way. And now my restaurant is a mindset that I provide. I provide a mindset to people in how to think and how to do better. So when I provide my service to the world, I try to give my services for free as much as possible because I truly want to help people. I want to help people, but you have to realize that a lot of people feel as though they don't need help. And you have to understand that those people who don't need help in life are not going to help themselves either. So you always have to constantly look for help. And now recently I've been reading a lot of things about leadership with John C. Maxwell and his leadership podcast, Maxwell Leadership. And you have to realize I've learned some things around leadership. And now you have to realize that leadership is all about talking words to people and being able to do so. And being able to be a public speaker and being able to do whatever it takes to succeed, to make sure that your life is a great life. And so that you have a lot of everything in terms of what you need in your life. So you have to understand that I don't know anything about life, but I understand that I see something that I can do. I see what I can do in the world, and that's my direction. I realize my direction helps people in some kind of way in terms of information. So I go get the information from other people, and then I apply it to my life, and then I become that information, and then I stand for that information. I stand for the better life in life. I promise you, if I'm not doing too good, then I'm going to speak a lot of words to make sure that I'm doing good in life. So make sure that you never worry about life. Never worry about other people. Never worry about your kids, okay? But protect everything, okay? And now when you protect everything in life, you just give everything of yourself. You give as much as you can, okay? But never get involved in violence, okay? Never, ever get involved in violence. Because violence is not your thing, okay? What your thing is to teach you, I promise you, what your thing is in life is to teach people peace and quiet, to teach people how to act, to teach people how to do life based on something that is a better way of thinking. And that's a philosophy that you have in your life. You have this certain philosophy in life where you can start doing things in your daily life to make sure that you're doing even more content than ever before. Because everyone has to start somewhere. So when you start coaching and teaching as much as possible every single day, and you start flowing with wisdom a lot in your life, you start recognizing things and paths and aspects of life that you didn't have before. You start realizing perspectives that you never said before. You start acting in a different manner that you never acted before in. And you start doing things differently. You start shaping your life. You start creating this life for yourself in terms of words and meaning and what life means to you. And now, because I'm around 30 years of age right now, and because I'm a life coach, I promise you, those people who are around 50 or 40 years of age, or 60 or 70 or 80, or even 90 or 100, you have to understand that these people are highly unlikely to be listening to a 30-year young man. You understand? Because they've went through life. And most people lose momentum in life when they get older in life. You understand? But you have to realize, never lose passion. Never lose certainty in your life. You have to be sure of something, okay? You have to be sure of yourself that you can do something great in your life, okay? You have to be someone who knows yourself, yes, and you have to be certain in who you are. You have to be understanding that means that when you're certain with who you are, then you are content, you are confident in your skills, you're confident in who you are, and you're confident that you can help people in some kind of way. And that's what I mean. You have to be sure of yourself in this kind of way. But also, make sure you understand something. Make sure you don't know anything about life. Make sure you keep learning about who you are. Make sure that you keep learning in terms of how to help people. And you have to realize that words take a lot of time it doesn't take a lot of time. You have to understand that words add only to people. A lot of words that you can speak every single day can only add to people in a better way. But never seek to take time away from yourself. Never seek to take time from other people. Try to add to people instead of subtract. Never subtract anything from life. Only add onto thy. You understand? only add on to people. Add people in your life, and you have to realize that you have to include people, okay? And you have to make them feel important. You have to make everything feel important. You have to validate people, but you have to teach them something, okay? You have to teach them that you care. And when you care about people, and you have to understand, that's when they understand how much you can help them. And when you start helping a lot of people every single day about your life and about what you can do in daily life, you start really helping yourself even more. Because words lead that way, and words go that way in terms of everything that you are. And you have to realize that when you're speaking a lot of words into the planet, that's when you're attracting a better outcome in your life. So always be consistent with your social media profiles. For example, with my social media profiles, I'm only ever on Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube, and Snapchat. So LinkedIn, I'm not on LinkedIn at the moment. And my Facebook page, I'm not really doing my Facebook page either. I'm not really doing TikTok either. And you have to realize that the reason for all this is because I can only handle so much, okay? And you have to realize that for me, it's about spreading information into the world as much as possible to make a positive impact on people. And now, I recently searched up my Amazon account, which is a large organization, okay? And you have to realize that I've sold 35 copies of my books, and I've made some money on it, which is amazing, to be able to make around $50 on my books that I made. And now all I need to understand is, if you ever want some more wisdom from me on the handwriting materials in terms of being able to understand the ebook versions of everything that I'm doing in my life, you understand that my quotes are going to help a lot. And it's a coach on wheels, because my quotes lead a direction, and it leads you into somewhere that I am. So once you understand all my content that I've ever done, then you understand my mindset and how I go about life. So you have to realize that everything I said in my programs and video programs and writing materials is who I am. You understand? And you have to understand how good I am as a person. I'm a very good person to be around. I can add a lot of value to people because I understand how to speak words. I understand how to develop people and their nature. I understand how to help people to speak their own words. And I understand also how to add onto them everything in life. But you have to realize that if you're wanting to do anything much better for yourself every single day, you have to speak a lot of words for yourself. Because when you speak a lot of words, that's when business comes true for you. You have to be in the role of business in life. And the more you do business with people, the more business comes out of it. And the more work you have to do. You understand? And I promise you, there's a lot of work to do in this planet. You understand? And you have to be working until you die. You understand? Never try to retire. Because you have to understand, a lot of people in life are working to be on a pension later on in life. You have to realize, don't stop there. You have to realize, don't stop on the pension. Try to make something of yourself. Try to provide so much services to people. Try to give people a lot of value of yourself, about yourself, and about how you think about life. And once you do this, and once you give lots of value to people about everything that you do, then you're in the spotlight. And because you're in the spotlight and you show people exactly how to think and how to do a better way of life, then you'll realize, for example, how people start admiring you for the person you are and for the individual you are. Because you're showing them everything about you. And you have to realize that you have to be good in this world, and you have to do good things for everybody. And you have to do kind deeds in the world if you want to have things attract in that nature for yourself. So if you want a better life, then you have to teach the better life. If you want a Ferrari, you have to teach people how to get a Ferrari. You have to understand, you have to teach people how to get there. So if you understand anything about real estate or anything about this life, then you have to teach it to be able to understand it. And those people who teach a lot about life understand life even more because they understand exactly how they're helping people. So understand that my content online is only ever helping people. And now recently I increased my prices of the books that I've written in my life. My books used to be all $1.50 in terms of Australian dollars. But now it's all $5.47. And all my books online are $5.47. And now one book that I also wrote, which is The Power of Words, is $14.71 or something like that. And now the reason I increased my prices for my books is because I get more value in return for what I've given. And the reason for this is because there are people out there who want to learn and who want to grow. And that's why I understand that when people invest a lot of money into themselves, they get more benefit from it. And they can always say, yes, they invested this much money into this much information, and this is the return on that revenue. So all I'm trying to say is that people will invest in your product if it's a good product. And my product is a great product to be around. And that's why I increased the prices of my books. And now instead of collecting 35% royalties, I collect 70% royalties now. So that's the best way to go about understanding that information. And now you have to realize that if I sold 6 copies of my books online for 30 years, okay, for over 30 years, if I every single day for 30 years sold 6 copies, I would make $300,000. And now if you go to 40 years, and if I sold 3 copies every day for 40 years, I would accumulate $300,000 in my life. And now, if you go to 50 days, I would have to sell 1.5 copies every single day for 40 years, for 50 years, to be able to accumulate $300,000. So if I sold one copy every 60 years, if I sold one copy for every single day for 60 years. So let's say 60 years of time, okay? I sold a copy every single day. I would make $300,000 on my books. So you have to realize all I have to do is sell one copy a day to make sure that in 60 years' time I have $300,000. It seems very easy, doesn't it? But you have to realize that, let's say I did make $300,000 on my books. I realized I would not be trying to save this money. I would be living off this money. You understand? I'll be trying to use this money to my advantage because Amazon, alright, you have to understand they send you the money every single time you make $100. And every single time you make $100, it's in your pocket right away. And they send it to your bank account. So for me to save $100 every single time they send it to me to make $300,000, for me it's much more worthy that I use this money to travel, to buy food, in terms of to invest in food and drink, to invest in knowledge again. And I rather help myself in terms of life, to make sure that I am using this money in daily life and not saving it to make sure that I get an apartment or anything like that. So every single day you have to understand that things get in a different way, doesn't it? You have to realize every single day when you learn to satisfy yourself in terms of your needs and in terms of who you are, you have to realize you have to teach everything about your nature. You have to teach every single day how you go about life. And now also another statistic that I found is that if 2010 people bought, in terms of invested in all my books online, I would make $300,000. So that's 2010 people. Okay, before it was 6,000 people, but because I increased my prices, now it's 2010 people. So you have to realize now that if I went over 4 years making events around people, and I coached, let's say, I coached 2010 people in front of people. So I made events around people, and over 4 years, or every single month, I coached overall 2010 people in life or at my events. I would make sure that these people are the ones that can get my content. And now you have to realize that all I have to do now is I have to make sure that I go out there and make events around people and coach 2010 people over 4 years. And I would make $300,000. So the thing is that you have to realize that if you want the free way, if you want to go the better way in life, you have to make events around people. So what kind of skill set can you teach to other people in front of people? Are you a public speaker? Do you have any knowledge that you can give other people? Do you have your own products? Do you have some kind of information that people need? Do you have experiences that other people don't have? Do you have something unique about you? Yes, and you have to ask yourselves these questions. And you have to figure it out about what do you need to do to make money in life. And now money is a good thing. Okay, money is wisdom. So the more wisdom you make about life, the more money you have. And now you always have to get yourself into a position where you can coach people, where you can do a lot of work around people, where you can help people with their mindset, and where you can help yourself to coach yourself to do all these things. So you have to understand that, for example, recently, I understand that I went online, for example, and I understand that I don't want to do DJing alone, okay? I don't want to learn to DJ alone, okay? Even though I have to. But the thing is that I can go give $575 for somebody to teach me for 12 hours, okay, on how to DJ. So you have to understand that's my next step. So I don't have to do it alone. I can go to somebody right now and give them $575 to learn all the techniques and skills that they have to give me so that I can learn how to DJ. So that I can always have this information in my life just as a security code in my life. Because if I ever need to DJ in front of people, or if I ever need to go around the world DJing, or if someone calls me to DJ somewhere, that I have the knowledge to do so. You understand? That I have the skills that I've accumulated in terms of knowledge to be able to perform in front of people and to be able to be connected around people and to have a great network. So the thing is that if you want a great network, you have to go start networking around people. Yes, and you have to understand what networking means. It means that you are the summary of all the people that you've ever invested into. You understand? It means that your network is your net worth. So if you invested in 10,000 people and their mindsets, then you are the summary of that. In a sense, so who you invest your time into is who you become. In a sense, so make sure you understand it's about a mindset that you're accumulating. You understand? You're all about understanding the knowledge around your life, and that you are the essence of that knowledge, that you are something that is unshakable, that you are something that nothing can touch you. And that's the mindset to have. You understand? So my mindset, you have to realize how I think about cigarettes and caffeine and disease, and you have to realize how I think about this. I think that I can never attract a disease. You understand? Do you know why? Because even if someone tells me that I have a disease, I won't believe that. Because what you believe is what you become. You understand? So if you believe you have a disease, then that's what you're attracting in your life. So people have said to me over the years that cigarettes is a cancer stick. For me, cigarettes is not a cancer stick. Okay? For me, cigarettes is wisdom. Okay? So you have to realize that disease for me is wisdom. Okay? I don't look at it as disease. I don't look at it as a cancer stick. I don't look at it as a diabetes. I don't look at it as cancer. I don't look at it as heart attack. You understand? I don't look at it as cardiovascular disease. I look at all that in terms of wisdom and what it can teach me about life. You understand? So the thing is that when I learn everything about everything, you have to realize that the news channels, for example, they say, oh, this person's being killed, this person hit somebody, or this person was in violence with this person, and this person got jailed for 6 years because of sexual assault. I don't believe this information. I don't believe in that information. You understand? Because what you believe in, you become. You understand? You have to realize that. So I don't believe anything that goes on around the news. I don't believe anyone in terms of what they say to me. I don't believe what they say to me. So if you were to tell me something, okay, I won't believe it. Okay, I won't believe what you have to say to me in life. But I will form my own mindset about it. Okay, I will form something different that you don't have in life, even though you do have it. But I will try to formulate a mindset where nothing can touch me. So if I was ever to attract cancer, okay, or a heart attack, I would not call it that. I would call it wisdom, okay? I would call it something different to what other people are talking about. You understand? So when they say something like, oh, this person killed someone, I don't believe in that information. I don't believe that that's true. I don't believe in a dangerous world. You understand? But those people who speak like that, those people who speak, oh, that this person killed someone or that, I promise you, the thing is that they believe in a dangerous world. You understand? Because they're speaking about it. So I only speak good things about life. I only think about good things that are going to happen to me. So if I attract cancer in my life, then that's a good thing for me. You understand? That's a good thing for me. Why? Because I'm going to a better world anyway. You understand? I'm going somewhere better. You have to realize I'm never going to attract cancer because I never think of it as cancer. You understand? I never think of it as a heart attack in life. So I'm never going to attract a heart attack because I never think about it that way. You understand? So what you think about and how you think about it has a big deal in your life. So you have to realize that I don't believe anything of this world. I just believe in what I believe. Do you understand? And what I believe in is something much greater. I believe in more information. I need more information to be able to believe in something that you're telling me. So information never stops. You can tell me everything you can in life and I still won't believe you. You understand? Because I have to form my own opinion about it. I have to form my own belief system about everything. You understand? Do I believe that pigs and cows and sheep are getting killed and slaughtered? I don't believe that. I don't believe that these animals are getting killed. You understand? I don't believe it. And even if a person was killing a pig in front of me, I will not believe that. You understand? Even if I see it, I won't believe it. Do you understand? But what I would believe is only in something that I believe. I would believe that this pig that's getting slaughtered is going to a better world. You understand? That's what I would believe. So you have to realize that you have to understand, you have to believe in yourself. So you have to realize that, I would say, for example, if a pig was getting slaughtered, you have to realize I would not believe that it's getting slaughtered. You understand? I would believe that this is just a part of life, that God said it's good. You understand? Jesus Christ gave fish to his disciples. And I would think of it as something good that's happening in life. I would not think of it as a bad thing. You understand? Because Jesus Christ gave fish to his disciples. Do you understand? So you would have to understand that I think of something better, and I would not believe in anything other than what I am in life. So I would think only good things about life, that I would think about the things that are happening for the good in my life, and that what's happening in my life is for me to understand and to experience. You understand? And I'll understand that I would shape my own mindset about it. And my mindset will never be your mindset unless I make an opinion about what you have done and how you have said it, and I would formulate something different to what you have said so that I can be original in my life. You understand? So you have to realize, go and check out how I made these quotes. I made 40,000 quotes. You have to realize that people have spoken about these quotes in different ways. You understand? I've spoken about some of these quotes in different ways as well. But you have to realize that this is how you teach quotes to people. You formulate you formulate your own opinion about things and how you teach. So teaching quotes to people and teaching all the things that I did in my life taught me something about life. I taught myself all this information. And you have to teach yourself a lot of information about life if you want to succeed, if you want to do better, if you want to go to better places, or whatever it is. You have to realize you have to believe in a better world. You have to understand every single day I do something, I'm always doing it for the good of my life. Because there's always a better world somewhere. You understand? And I believe that I don't believe in death. I don't believe that there is death in life. You understand? I believe that we all go to a better world. You understand? That's what I believe. Because there's always something better for me in life. So you have to realize that what you believe in comes true. So if the words can speak it, then it's true. You understand? So it's only true for you if you speak the words of that. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's true because other people are speaking about it. But you're formulating your own mindset about it, is what I'm talking about. You have to formulate your own thinking skills, your own way of life, your own mindset that's different to other people if you want to be unique, okay? You can, but you can't, okay? You have to realize, make sure that your mindset is always different to everything in life. Be so unique that other people cannot resist you, okay? Be so unique that other people need to have what you have in life. You understand? Because that's where wisdom is. That's where happiness is. You have to understand everything's changing. You understand? Everything's always changing for the better. And when you believe in something better in life, then you're always going to be increasing your livelihood. You're going to be increasing the person you are. You're going to be increasing your wisdom. You're going to be increasing everything about you because that's what you are. And what you are is what you become. You understand? And you have to understand every single day, always do good as much as you can. Because you have to understand how I believe about things. And you have to understand that everything I've said in this audio program is how I believe about life. So that's why you have to always speak out your content to people. Because the more you speak everything into fruition, the better it is for you because you've sown more and then you reap more. And then you actually have a better life in the process because you've talked about it. And because you've talked about it, that means you're always expressing yourself in different ways. And because you're expressing yourself in different ways, that means you can always do even more in life. So you always have to do more if you want to achieve more, you understand? So that's the only thing about understanding is something that you have to understand. And you have to understand how to live life. You see, guys, always get to a stage where you care about things, okay? Care about life. You have to start caring much more often so that you can live the way you need to live. And now when I look at the news channels and when I look at information, I care about that information. I care about negative information. I care about positive information. Do you know why? Because it keeps me caring. I need to care about things. So when I turn on the TV, when my dad's watching soccer, and no matter how much I don't want to watch soccer, I care about it anyway. I care to see what my dad's seeing. I care to see all the opinions of the world, no matter how bad it is. You understand? I care to understand the Bible of Jesus Christ. I care to understand information. And because I care to understand information, I get greater wisdom about it. So I always have to understand much more about what I'm doing because I understand where my dream is. I understand where my goals are because I'm writing them every single day. I'm writing my goals down to achieve them. You understand? I have to write my goals down. So you have to realize that when I write my goals down, I'm just writing words, a lot of words down. You understand? I'm writing a lot of words down. I'm making sure I'm documenting as much as possible. I'm making sure I'm giving all the ideas I can. Because when I give so many ideas, then I get credited for that in some kind of way. I credit myself before you credit me. You understand? Because then I understand something from it. And because I give a lot of information every single day as much as I can, I understand that's what keeps me going. That's what motivates me. That's what drives me. That I promise you drives me because I want to help people. I want to help people in some kind of way to give my opinion in the world so that I'm heard as well. So that I say that it's not about me being famous, but I want people to understand that I'm helping in some kind of way. That I'm trying to help people to think better. That I'm trying to help people to embark on a journey. I'm trying to show people the better way of life. So I always have to understand that when I stick to the words just come to me. And because I can speak words, then I can do life in a greater way. I can actually motivate myself to speak words in every single moment of life. And that's what helps me to live life. That's what helps me to enjoy life. That's what helps me to be alive, because I can speak words. And when I can speak words about it, then I can express myself. Then I can do everything that I ever want to do, because that's all I ever want to do anyway. I just want to express myself to everything. You know, and when I express myself to everything about life, that means creating events around people. That means doing things in a different way. That means being heard in a different way. That means whatever it means. You understand? So you have to understand that I'm just trying to do better. You understand? I'm trying to do better than before. I'm trying to make sure that I help people in some kind of way. It's not about me being in the spotlight. Okay? It's about getting my wisdom to other people. You understand? I promise you, I want my wisdom to be heard. You understand? I want my information to be heard so that people can understand a better way of life. And if I become famous from it, then that's a different story. But I'm not trying to become famous. I'm trying to promote myself as much as possible. And if it happens, it happens. But you have to realize that for me, it's about me being remembered in a way that I'm helping people, that in a way that I'm good in life, that I'm doing good things in the world, that I'm trying to spread the good thing, you understand, the good essence of life. I'm trying to spread the good essence of life into life. You understand, I want to be remembered as a good person and an honest person, and I want to be understanding much more of myself and who I am and how I always came across as somebody positive. You understand? And I understand sometimes you have to realize that I was negative in the world as well sometimes. But you have to understand that because of how my life has been going around in life and how I've been living my life, I've been more positive than negative. And you have to realize that I'm always now, especially now, I'm trying to do even more good things in the world. You know, I'm trying to make up for the bad things that I've done in my life, because I understand that everyone understands how it is when you live life. Yes, and you understand that sometimes you go through. I understand you sometimes understand that you go through difficult times sometimes, and sometimes you go for good times, and you have to realize things happen. You understand, things change, and you have to change along with the tide. You understand, you have to be always constantly changing into something much better. You have to realize that it's more how, no matter what it is, even if I don't become remembered by people, you have to realize it would be such a shame for people not to remember me. You have to understand why, because I'm helping the world in some kind of way. So I deserve some kind of recognition for that. I deserve some recognition that I've helped the world in some kind of way, that I've impacted people in some kind of way, that I've made a positive difference in life. Yes, and that I help to shape some people's minds, that I help in some kind of way to change a person's life for the better, that now their kids and their kids are going to talk about this information that I gave, and now that it's going to be something that's much better in their life, and that people are always going to have this kind of information going forward, you understand? So that's the kind of thing that I'm trying to spread. I'm trying to spread the word of everything. You guys have to understand that everyone's going to vary in information, and everyone's going to have different information about life. And that's a good thing about life. That's what makes people unique, that each person can help you in some different way that you've never experienced before. You understand? Because information goes like that. But information always stays the same. But information changes throughout time when you have more information. And now when you have lots of information about life, you become so wise, you become a better person, you become a great attitude. And attitude is all you're selling, as Dr. Wayne Dyer says. So you have to understand, you have to always be growing yourself. You always have to be constantly helping yourself to grow. You have to always constantly learn from each situation so that you can understand how to live life. So you have to understand, I'm always looking for ways to be able to be present in the moment, to be able to live what I'm living right now. And so I have to always understand this moment. I have to understand much more about where am I in life, and what am I trying to do, and how am I trying to grow. And also I have to understand how am I trying to be much more present so that I can live my life in a better way. I'm always looking for ideas. I'm looking for constant ways of thinking that I can enthusiastically be able to speak my words, but also be able to live in the moment through speaking words. And I always have to understand what it is I'm going through right now. You know, so is it adversity? Is it a hard time? Is it a good time? Is it joyful right now? Is it upsetting? Is it happy? I have to always constantly make sure that I can clarify for myself how to live a greater life. You know, so I always have to be so present in the moment, understanding exactly what's going on. I have to make common sense of it, and the only way I can do that is to speak words. I see, so you always have to find yourself in better places. So the only way you can do that is to speak words. So throughout my time right now, as I'm living life, I'm always looking to express myself. I'm always looking to enjoy my life. I'm always looking to make common sense of everything as much as possible. I'm trying to be a great person. I'm trying to be a great attitude to be around. I'm trying to add value to people. I'm trying to give my business card to people. You understand? So when I meet someone new, I have a meaningful conversation with them first, and then I make it seem like my business card is something. So I give it to them, and I give a lot of value to these people. And you have to understand, my business card has a lot of value in it. You understand? It has my social media profiles and everything online that I've ever done in my life. I give all my information for free in this business card as much as possible. So you have to realize, that's why you have to understand that you have to be someone who prices your content. You know, so you have to price your content sometimes to understand that sometimes you have to get paid for your work. You understand? You have to get paid for your work. You have to get paid for what you do. And then you have to realize that if 2010 people, let's say, invested in all my books, I would be someone who understands that I can always accumulate real estate like this. But the thing is that you have to realize that per person, I can make $150 per person if those people, in terms of one person, went through all my books. I promise you, that's around $150 per person if they went through all my books. You understand? But the thing is that you have to understand that I'm not going to decrease the value of my books anymore online, because I understand that it's got value in it and I deserve value in return. In a sense, so you have to always understand that I give everything for free as much as possible, but you have to understand I try to always price myself as well, because you have to understand you have to make a living out of what you do. You understand? You have to make more out of everything. You have to understand that if people support you, if people also want you to be successful, then they're going to give you some money in the process of that. You understand? So you have to realize, no matter what, that money is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. And you have to understand it's just a money is just a means of transaction to get you further in life. You understand? To make sure that you're learning to grow yourself, to make sure that you're making a difference in life. That's what the purpose of life is. You understand? You have to understand every single day, try to do better for yourself. Try to understand that there's always more to do. Do as much work as you can. I promise you, try to work your ass off in a great way so that you can grow. I promise you, work yourself out. You have to understand, work everything out. You have to understand, work what you are doing right now and make sure that you understand to work it out for yourself. Is it good information? Is it bad information? What kind of information is it? You have to understand, you have to always make sure that you're learning and growing, because that's the only way to work everything out. You understand? You have to always be constantly learning. You understand? So when you constantly learn, and then you're always growing, and then you're always happy, because you have to understand that nobody is always happy. You understand? You have to realize you have to get happy. You understand? Happiness is a choice. And those people who choose to be happy are the ones that are always learning and growing. You understand? People who stop growing, stop being happy. You understand? So if you want to be constantly happy in life, there is a way to always be constantly happy. But you have to always be learning and growing. You understand? You have to push yourself to learn and grow. And that's how you be happy. You understand? Happiness comes in growth. And the more information you have, the happier you are. So you have to understand how it is when I grow, for example. And I'm always reading. Understand, I'm always reading alone. I'm always understanding to read in front of people, around people, whatever it is. I'm always trying to give ideas. I'm trying to spread the information forward. I'm trying to give the message of everything. And I'm trying to always explain much more about whatever it is, so that I can grow myself in the best kind of way, because that's what's important to me. I promise you, as long as I'm around, I understand this world is growing. You know, so I'm trying to always give as much information as possible so that people can have the best mindset possible. You know, saying that's what Jim Rohn says. And he says, be all you can be. And he's saying, be as much as you can be in life. You know, saying, try to always love yourself. Try to take care of yourself in a way that you love yourself as much as possible, so that you can understand that you have everything coming for you that's good for you right now. You have to understand, you have to believe in the good. You have to believe in something much better for yourself every single day, so you can have an extraordinary life, so you can live in an extraordinary way, so you can understand extraordinary things, so that you can be an extraordinary person. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that. So live a great way and understand every single day that there's always more to do. I see, guys, put it this way. The more content you do, the better for you. So the more you're always helping yourself to do content, the more you do content for people and you give it as much as you can for free, and then people will understand how to give you back your credibility, and your reputation will move forward, and you'll create some kind of legacy from this, and you'll be spread. I promise you, people will spread your word, and people will spread what you thought about and how you were, and they'll understand exactly how you are and how good you are, for example. And that's what you have to understand. You have to create something that's good in the world, something that benefits people, something that helps people to think better, to have a greater mindset, to understand much more about life, to make more common sense. You understand? So every single day, seek to always become more. Seek to understand much more about life. Seek to understand exactly why did someone do what they've done, and what kind of position were they in this kind of position, and why did they do that. And you have to ask why. You understand? You have to keep asking why this, why that. And you have to understand, why am I in this position, and why do I have to grow, and why do I have to do things like this approach. Then you say, why do I have to do things of this nature, and why do I have to do that? And you just keep asking questions. You just ask why. How do I do it? Why do I do it? How do I do this? Why do I do this? I promise you, the best question to ask all the time is why about everything. How about this? I promise you, and then you say, how do I do this, and how do I do that? And when you're always asking why and how, okay, and all the open-ended questions, when, where, why, who, how, and you have to understand, you have to keep asking these open-ended questions. And when you ask open-ended questions, then you understand exactly how to grow. You understand? So I'm always asking, why is John C. Maxwell doing this, and how is he doing it? Why is Tony Robbins doing this? Why did he say that? How did he say that? Why did he say it like this? And why is this information important? And why do I have to learn this? And why do I have to do that? So you have to understand, I'm always asking why, you understand? That's how I grow. I see, then when you ask all these questions, which is the open-ended questions, then you understand much more how you can respond to this information. And then when you respond to your own information, then you give an opinion about it, and you give your own information about it, and then you talk about it. And because you talk about it, you express yourself about it, and then you actually become everything that you can be from it. In a sense, so you have to understand, you have to always look for ways to understand, to motivate people, to understand how to have great knowledge in your life, to understand, to be a great person. Because when you have great knowledge, you have a great will to understand life. And you have to understand, you have to always be great. You understand? Be someone who's a great person in life. You understand? So every single day, try to do as much work as you can. Try to work after the 9-to-5 job. Try to understand that your work is to grow. Try to grow within your job. Try to grow within everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you actually make it to 100 years of age. And that's how you make it much greater for yourself, because you're making a positive difference. You're making sure you're creating some kind of reputation for yourself. You're making sure that you're standing out, that you're branding yourself. Look at how I brand myself on Instagram. Go type in Danny Milivojevic on Instagram, and you'll find all my fashion photos, everything I've ever done in terms of fashion photos. You'll find in my Mega Drive, under the description of this YouTube link, in terms of this video, you find the description, and you understand that the description has my Mega Drive. And go search up my Mega Drive, go into my Mega Drive, go understand all my online storage stuff, and understand everything I've done in my life is inside of my Mega Drive. And it's like 3 terabytes worth of information at the moment, and it has a bit more than that. But you have to realize anyway, because I give everything every single day, I'm understanding I'm always in a generous mood. You know, so I'm always generous with my words, generous with who I am, because I can give something. You know, so I've got something to give, and that makes me enthusiastic. That makes me a better person. That makes me something much greater. You understand? Not greater than other people. It doesn't make me any worse than other people. It doesn't make me any better than other people. It just makes me better than yesterday. To be able to provide information, to be an information provider, to be someone who can talk about things, who can be authentic in some kind of way, who can teach people something about life, who has something to give. You know, so I've got something to give. I've got a persona, I've got information, I've got all this information out of 30 years of my life, all the experiences I went through, all the behavior stuff I've done, and everything I've done around actions, around things, and I understand now how to maneuver myself around life and how to give this information to people. In a sense, so everything that I've developed in this audio program for you is because of the mindset that I've accumulated over time. You understand? This is all my experience coming into an hour program, for example, but I have so much more to give every single day. I understand. I'm trying to teach you as much as I can about my life and about who I am. You see, I'm trying to show you my persona. I'm trying to show you my tonality of the tone of my voice and how I speak and everything like that. You have to understand, it was a dream come true for me to be able to do an audio program and stuff like that before in my life. And you have to understand now, since I'm always doing more and stuff, it's always my dream to always do more. You understand? I have to do more. I have to always make more audio programs and more video programs so that I can maybe someday have kids, for example. And you have to understand, that's if it happens or not. We'll see if I have kids or not. But the thing is, you have to realize, if I ever had kids, I'll send them all this information I've ever done in my life so that they can understand how to grow, so they can understand how to live a greater life. You understand? That's what it's about. It's always about understanding how to improve yourself, how to grow, how to actually help yourself to accumulate better riches in life, how to always up the standard in your life. You understand? Upping your living requirements in a way that you're going the more affordable way. Understanding to maneuver yourself around life like a tiger, like a lion, making sure that you're very strong, making sure you're very content in who you are, making sure that you're very confident. You know, saying you have to be able to provide everything for yourself. That's how you become independent. That's how you become interdependent. And now you have to understand, someday maybe you can also make sure that someday you can have people work for you in terms of life, and you can pay them good money to do your content and stuff like that, to make sure that they're growing themselves and that you're growing yourself in the process, so you can have a happy company, so you can have a happy business, so you can have something going for you in life. You have to understand, everything's going for you right now. You understand? Everything you have right now in your life because of the wisdom you have. You just have to understand how to express that. You have to understand how to express your wisdom. You have to understand your wisdom is your experience. And you have to learn how to express your experience and wisdom to people so that you can understand how to grow as a brand. So that you can understand what your business is, which is your experiences, your life, your mindset, your everything in terms of your face, your body, everything about you is a business. And you have to think in terms of business and how you can help other people and give a service to people in a ways that other people have not done yet. You understand? And that's what you have to do for yourself to stand out.